Hello my hungry friends, welcome to Polish Your Kitchen. Today we're making potato plum dumplings, Knedle. Welcome back friends, this is Polish Your Kitchen. My name is Anna and I will teach you how to make Polish food. Recently we've also started doing kitchens closed videos. We close our kitchen on Fridays and we take you out to eat and show you the culinary Poland. Kitchen's open again. We are preparing Polish potato dumplings with plums called Knedle. Plums are still in season, but we're kind of towards the end of them, so we're excited to eat enough to last us all winter, because as you know, Polish food or Polish ingredients a lot of times are seasonal, and we won't get plums until next season again. So we're going to try to eat as much as we can so they last all year in our minds. Knedle is one of those dishes that I used to eat seasonally also. I didn't really learn how to make them until I was an adult, because an adult in my family would always make some for me. But they're delicious, kids love them. They're kind of like a dessert, but they're a dinner dish, even though they're sweet. So I'm preparing my plums, and I like to cut them open. Obviously we have to take the pit out and make sure there's no bugs in them, which, you know, it's possible. So I cut them open and take the pit out and cut away. You know, there's a dark spot on this one I don't like, so I'll just cut this away. And these are pretty large. I like using the little plums called węgierki, which are called Hungarian plums. They're about half the size, and I like how they fit into one dumpling, but they had these at the market today, so we're using these. So I'm just cutting them to a smaller size, and I'm going to do one more. And I always choose the ones that are nice and soft. That means they're ripe. So I have them in here, and that's probably enough filling, or enough for filling. So I'm just going to set these aside. And we're going to get to our dumpling. So for this recipe, we're going to use potatoes, as I mentioned. And I have boiled some potatoes, peeled and boiled potatoes in salted water. And once they've cooled off, I have mashed them. And I have about 2 cups of potatoes. And I like to make potato dumplings when the mashed potatoes are a little bit warm. I feel they work with the flour a little bit better. So if you're starting from scratch, you can go ahead and do it when your potatoes are still warm. And then I have a cup of flour and a little bit more for my board later, but we don't want to go beyond that a whole lot. And I have 2 eggs. So I'm going to start with my flour. I'm going to just place it in my bowl. And I like to start in the bowl so I don't get stuff everywhere. And then once my dough is combined a little bit, I'll move it over to my board. We're going to use 2 whole eggs. One goes in. These look big. Might have to add a little bit more flour, but we'll judge that. And I need salt. Can you help me with salt? Thank you. And just a pinch of salt. And I'm just gonna wiggle the eggs a little bit in here, just to break up the yolks. And I'm adding my taters, all of them. And I'm just gonna fold this in just to start with. It's gonna seem like it's a really wet dough, because it is. And you're gonna have to fight the urge to want to add more flour. And I will show you a trick how to make this, how to fold this without having to add more flour. So this is the consistency I'm at right now. It's kind of gooey and seems really wet, but that I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna sprinkle my board, and then this goes on here. And flour your hands a little bit. And all you got to do now is just form this, a little bit more flour on top. So there's really no kneading. We're just pushing to form whatever shape that we want. And this is the same method that you would use to make kopitka, the potato dumplings, or there was another dumpling that kind of gets sticky like this. I can't remember which one is that now. And really that's all we want to do. We just kind of want to form it into a shape. And it looks like it needs more flour, but like I said, just gonna push it into form and form a kind of a log, just like we would, leniwe, pierogi leniwe, the cottage cheese or farmer's cheese dumplings are kind of the same method. A kind of wet dough that can take a lot of, seems like it's really moist and it would take a lot of flour, but it just takes a good method. So just push this into quite a fat log, I guess. And I think I'm going to cut it in half to make it a little bit easier. Move this guy over here. And that's probably about how I want to be. So this is, I want to say a couple inches, would you say?
That's about almost a foot.
No, in diameter.
Yeah,
Probably a couple inches, yeah. And then we're going to do pieces that we're going to roll out. So I'm going to go probably about this big. And try to make them even so they kind of cook evenly. And this last guy, we'll go in 3. And then we're gonna come back with our plum. And this is just work of hands now. Make sure you have some flour so they don't stick. And we're just gonna flatten our piece. And then we're gonna put a piece of plum in there. Maybe I need to cut these in a little bit smaller pieces. They seem big. Maybe one more half, so we have quarters.
The plums don't fit?
Well, if they're small enough, they'll fit.
I'm plum surprised.
Okay, and then so we're gonna put a couple pieces in here, and then we're just kind of folding it in until the ends meet. And then this is supposed to make a ball, so just kind of gently move it around to get it to as close to a ball as you can. And then we'll move on to the next. And these floury, potatoey dumplings are delicious. So I'm going to do another piece, maybe like this. And then we'll fold until the ends meet, and kind of even it out. Knedle also freeze well. You would make them as I am, and then after boiling, you would cool them completely and put them on a tray, or I guess tray or plate, and stick them in the freezer until they're completely frozen, and then transfer them to a bag. And when you're ready to eat them again, you would pop them in hot water for a couple minutes until they float to the top. And dinner is done. I am gonna go ahead and make the rest of these, and then we'll finish our dish. How easy was this?
Easy as falling off a log.
It's pretty easy. I feel that people are kind of overwhelmed when they think about making dumplings, because like it seems like there's a lot of kneading and you don't know how much flour to put in, or it's dough is either too wet or too dry, and this is pretty easy. This is how we roll here in Polish Kitchen.
Excuse me.
That was the fridge. You're disgusting. You're such a disgusting cameraman. What are these called?
Knedlers.
Knedles.
Yeah, we're gonna canoodle.
Yeah, we have canoodled in the kitchen and made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 canoodles, and they're almost done. I'm gonna make my topping first, which is a savory and sweet type topping of breadcrumbs and butter. And it's a very popular one that we do here in Poland for dumplings. So I'm gonna do about 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, and I want to toast them in my pan really quickly, but this pan is already hot, so I gotta work quickly. And once those breadcrumbs toast a little bit, I'm gonna add, which is now, I'm gonna add some butter to them. Just be careful or work really fast, because they will burn before you know it. And you can make them as loose or as, I guess, stiff as you want, but I like mine pretty loose. I'm going to turn the heat off right now so it doesn't keep burning. And butter is melty, and it picks up the moisture from the breadcrumbs, and it just makes this really delicious topping for our knedle. This is the same topping that we use for vegetables, like cauliflower, or what else? Fasola, which is beans. And once that's done, just moved it off to the back so it keeps warm. This water is already boiling for us, so we are ready. I'm gonna add just a little bit of oil, a couple tablespoons, and turn your heat to as low as you can go. And now we're gonna, when this is bubbling, we're gonna drop our canoodles, our knedle, into the water. And I'm not gonna do a whole lot in here, but this is a pretty large pan, so I'm just dropping them so they don't stick. And that drops the temperature down, which is fine, because we don't want this on super high roll. We want them slowly to come up to boil and cook through. So we want to be gentle with the boiling. That's probably enough. I'm gonna take a wooden spoon, and just to, if you want to come close, I'm just gonna kind of swirl the water around along with the pot, just to make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. And just watch your heat. And we want them to kind of hang out. They're gonna loosen up from the bottom, and they're gonna start popping up to the top. They have all popped up now, and to the top. So I'm gonna give them another 45 seconds or so and kind of finish cooking. and then we shall proceed. A recipe as usual for these and other dumplings you can find on my website, polishyourkitchen.com. If you go up to recipe index, you can sort them by pierogi and dumplings, and you can find these and other sweet or savory dumplings there. I also have a merch shop on my website. Go ahead and check out merch, order yourself something nice. It's almost holiday season. I think it's a good gift. All right, I'm gonna pull these out onto my plate, and we shall dress them and eat them. How many Knedles can you eat?
Keep asking loaded questions. These are big noodles, so probably at a sitting I'd probably eat 3.
Yeah, I think for me too. Let me pop these in. They're sticking already to the board. I don't want them sitting out too long. I'm gonna pop these in so they start working. Oh no. See how sticky this is? No big deal. This is normal day in the kitchen. Guess that's what happens when they're sitting out in the board, eh? Nothing little Merlin can't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
I was gonna say I'm kind of disappointed in you.
I'm just gonna, yeah, if everything just came out, just gonna wash my hands real quick. I'm gonna give these a little stir so they're not sticking to the bottom. And I'm gonna get my breadcrumbs, which is one of my all-time favorite toppings. Stir it a little bit. Oh, look at this.
That looks tasty.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that's not it. But wait,
But wait, there's more?
there's more. Savory and sweet. And a sprinkle of sugar, just regular sugar. I have sugar, not brown sugar, sugar of the on the raw. What do you call it?
Raw sugar.
Raw sugar. And sweet and savory dumpling coming your way. Sweet and savory dumpling. I'm gonna cut it in smaller pieces so I don't choke on this. This is flavor of my childhood.
I want to flavor childhood.
And the dough is not sweet at all. The plum is a little sour. And you have the sweet and the sour and the salty and the buttery. It's super delicious. I hope you try this recipe. I hope you make it and give it to your children, grandchildren. They'll love it. They won't even know what's coming. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video so I know to make more. Meet us back again on Friday when we go outside our kitchen and show you culinary Poland. And we'll see you again on Monday. Smacznego!